Hello everyone, it's Mike Levin, March 3rd, Tuesday 2015, and boy, I'll tell you, March is coming in like a lion. We had a surprise snowstorm on Sunday night when I was in Staten Island with the in-laws, visiting the new puppy with Adiella and Rachel, and that turned into sleet, and that was pretty treacherous that night. And today, I am once again doing it the Google Glass way, sparing you having to look at my mug and sparing my hands the cold, except of course for my coffee. And I thought today I would talk about a new domain I'd be launching and why. First of all, I'm trying to keep my domains to a minimum, one each for each major category of thing I'm trying to get the word out on. Levinix.com for Levinix, Pipulate.com for Pipulate, MikeLev.in, my exact name, as my vanity/resume /stories site, and then MikeLevinSEO.com for my completely unfiltered, drinking from the fire hydrant daily work log journal, and the new site GorillaTech.com, misspelling of gorilla, but the more common spelling, GUERILLATECH.com. Not launched yet if you go there, but that'll be part of my reveal, because if Levinix is the way to cut your teeth on old school Linux server without spending any money on hardware, GorillaTech will be the place where you go to learn about that hardware. A great big gorilla and a tiny little server. And of course, anyone who follows my video knows how enamored I am with things like the Raspberry Pi and things that came before it. I'm not just a bandwagon guy. I was there with the Fit PC from Israel and with the Shiva plug and other variations before it, trying to get servers low power consumption, cheap, and into the home behind the Wi-Fi router. So my message on GorillaTech.com will be, it's cheaper now to set up your own server than it is even to use a cloud service. Now, of course, Amazon has that free level of service, but you do have to give it your credit card, and it'll start charging you after that year. So not entirely appropriate, especially for kids who are trying to get into this stuff, but getting a $35 gift by someone who wants to improve the life of a child certainly is within the realm of possibility. And even adults who are serious about their tech education, who want a way to get started that's low commitment and easy, just, pop a Raspberry Pi on the back of your Wi-Fi router. And one of the arguments that comes up at that point often is, well, internet services shouldn't be let in to your home. You shouldn't set something up to service requests because you're punching open a hole in your firewall. Well, you don't have to do that. Enter one of the other domains I'm maintaining, Pipulate.com. Pipulate works in two modes. It works in scheduled mode, where it goes out and does your bidding on whatever time basis you define, hourly, weekly, daily, whatever. And each time it does that, it acts like a user. And as you know, a user surfing from behind a Wi-Fi router doesn't need special firewall rules. It just goes out and does its thing. So Pipulate on either Levinix or some Raspberry Pi or QBox server will just work. Plug and go. So plug and go, in fact, that I think I'll be making Raspberry Pi SD card images so that you don't even have to do any configuration. Just download image, plug it in, and you got a Pipulate server. And of course, Levinix is that way as well. So all this stuff is like zero configuration, literally zero configuration, because there's nothing on the drive to that you have to set up even. And let's see. Pipulate.com being the place for the app. So you got the Try It Easily server on Levinix.com. You've got here's how to do it with the real hardware on GorillaTech Pipulate.com, soon to come. And then you've got the app to run on this stuff with Pipulate.com. So this is kind of like the reveal with all this stuff coming together. And that is my message for this morning. This isn't actually up and running yet, but the time is upon us because Pipulate is essentially done, and I've just been in the process of testing. So what happens now is I make sure testing is finished and nice and solid and that it's stable, and then I open Pipulate.com up to some beta users, restricting its usage with a whitelist, produce some videos on its use, let all the Flying Point Digital people, of course, start using it, whitelisted on Pipulate.com, and just make tutorial video after tutorial video, added auto self-documenting feature so that one of the tabs in all the Google spreadsheets will automatically be documentation so that you can learn how to use it. It'll be like a table of contents. Each row in the documentation tab will be a topic and a link to a Google Docs page that talks about that topic. So there's a lot of kung fu going on here. Once you decide to drink the Google Kool-Aid, go all the way, use all the services they have to provide. And when their services are too limited, such as the case with, say, Google Apps Script, where the code execution context is too limited to do the really neat stuff like hitting APIs that require login, or scraping sites, or running crawls, so anything where you go beyond some simple JavaScript. You want to go this way? I'll let you go this way. Anything where you go beyond some simple JavaScript and single HTTP calls to websites, you're going to require more than the built-in code execution stuff of the Google platforms provide. Now, there is this other stuff. There's plugins for Chrome. You could do stuff there. There's also app extensions for Google Docs, more and more, and there's interesting stuff there. But part of my message is that even though I made Google Docs a dependency and it makes heavy use of it today in Pipulate, we are on the path of as much independence as possible and as small of a code footprint as possible. So for example, we're using the Python programming language, and on, say, Linux, even after all that stuff is installed on there, the whole footprint of the entire thing is like under 60 megabytes. And that's like a single library in other languages. And I'm talking about a whole fully running, able to double click and become your virtual server in 60 megabytes. It's just like unheard of. And so every decision I make pares down the dependencies as much as possible, except for those that are so compelling right now that you cannot walk away from. And as users of Pipulate will quickly come to see, Google Docs is providing something very special to the picture that is hard to get any other way right now today, not only as your database component, but as much of your user interface, which is working better and better on the mobile platform today. And the sort of SEO and social media monitoring and investigations you're going to be able to do are going to look like just pure magic when you demonstrate it to people on your cell phone. And you might be like, hey, wait, if it's being hosted out of my home, how can I show it to people through my cell phone on the go? Well, all the Google spreadsheets still totally accessible to you. Come on, dog. And it's only the scheduled processing or the actual running of Pipulate to process the spreadsheets that you need to do from that server at home. And if you have a task running like I currently do, monitoring my gradual inching towards 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, just every time you pull up the spreadsheet, it's going to have more and more shown there. In fact, let me show that as the last thing here before I go away. So there you see, oh, a couple more rows just popped in. Not sure if you saw that, but here is my subscriber count. And each time this process runs, it captures another number. Each one of these is an hour later. So anyway, I rambled on for over 10 minutes. That's plenty. Thanks for joining me. Now's the time to jump on the bandwagon. Send a link to this video to anyone you know who might be interested, who's an aspiring programmer, who'd like to set up a Raspberry Pi, who's in the social media or SEO market. And hope to talk to you soon. And don't forget to subscribe.